Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and it's time for another Bulgarian workout. And I'm glad I got to chat with some other coaches today who saw my video this morning about people saying Bulgarian training is lazy or whatever, and we laughed and laughed because you can tell this is people who've never done this. You can tell these are people who've never come in and hit a training max on squats every day for a month straight. You can absolutely tell. It's just this idea that people have that, they do their 5 squats once a week, followed by some leg presses and leg extensions, and it's their leg day, and it's some massive feat of legend that should earn them someplace in Valhalla or something. But, they haven't tried squatting every day. And, the thing is, I've done both, guys. I have done the whole body part split thing, and I can honestly say this is harder. And I don't consider this to be particularly challenging either. I mean, to be honest, it's something you get used to. That's the other thing, guys. This sort of training just kind of becomes your normal once you do it. It's just this thing. And I would say for me, the squatting, it's like anyone else who does this tells you that you're going to go through phases where the squatting, it becomes this big burden over your head that I have to do my squat today. God, I don't want to do this. And it can be a psychological roadblock, but once you get the squats done, it's just like, oh man, it's this big burden relieved off of you, and like everything else just feels easier for the day. Today, squatting was a little hard. I was surprised. I got to my 460, which is my new daily minimum. I started it this week. Yesterday was easier than today. Yesterday wasn't that bad, and I got to today, and it felt almost like a max, like a true max. I was like, oh my God. But then I watch it on camera, and it doesn't look like a third attempt at a comp or anything. It's not a grinder. It was 2.1 seconds. That's a little slow for me. But it's not bad. So, it's kind of funny how we view these things, how they feel versus how they sometimes look. Because here it was, 2.1 second concentric. But, it felt hard today. And that's the thing. We'll keep going, and I might have some weeks where I don't get to increase. But here's the beauty of it. I will, even if I do several weeks where I don't increase at all, I'll still hit my 500 every day by the end of the summer. And I'm really looking forward to that. But also, so then I did bench next, and I'm starting to do the heels flat for now just because of all these IPF, fanboys and fangirls, whatever you want to call them. They're their own little cult. But, I'll try it for a while. It's not going to hurt my strength to do it. I'm still getting all the same stimulation on the bench. And, so we'll do it. So my 320 was a little hard today. So what all did I do? I went ahead and I did 5 lifts today. And that's what I'm going to try to do most days is these 5 basic lifts and then whatever other stuff, my curls and snatches or whatever afterwards. But I'm going to take a different approach now with the trap bar pulls because I'm noticing doing volume with them is affecting me, but I need more reps to get more practice in. So I'm just going to do triples for now, right? I'm going to do triples, and I'm going to do them several times a week, maybe as many as 5. And I'm going to slowly increase the weight, just gradually, so that I get a slow progressive overload. Now, the interesting thing there, because of the frequency of it, if I'm doing it 5 times a week, even if they're sub-maximal triples, I'm going to get carryover. I'm going to get additional workload because it's still challenging enough to hit the upper threshold muscle fibers. I'll treat it as a secondary exercise where I'm learning the movement pattern, building my pulling strength up. It'll add extra volume for my lower body, my back, my traps, everything. Stuff that I might need to progress on these other lifts. It'll work my grip. So that's the way I'm going to treat it for now. I'm not going to quite treat it like a max effort exercise with training maxes, training singles like these other lifts. But I want to get at least 6 days a week now. I want to start easing into doing these 4 really important lifts to me. The squat, the bench, the chin up, and the strict press. And I went a little easier on the strict press today. The bench was a little slightly grindy. Again, comes off the chest fine, but let me rephrase that. That's not even true. Look, if you stick anywhere in the middle, it's not coming off your chest fast enough. So for me, I get a little better pop with the narrower grip, but I know that I'm going to get stronger and I'll get a little more pec involvement and everything if I use this slightly more medium grip like I'm using now. And I really need to master it again anyways, instead of just close grip all the time. I'm not quite getting that speed off the chest I want. I'm not really using leg drive right now either, though. And that could be a factor. But, you know, I wanted to get that speed up. Because, see, if it was faster, I wouldn't have stuck there. See, it slows down. We're just going to have to just keep hitting it. And I might be stuck at 320 for a daily minimum for a while. Even it might be a few more weeks before I go to 325. And that's okay. Chin-ups went good, though. I've got the chin-ups sorted. It's all about the grip and not trying to wrist curl myself up to get that last bit at the top. And that's the other thing. There's going to be some people like, oh, yeah, you might be dead hanging from the bottom now, but you really need to be going higher at the top. Guys, I'm not built to go higher at the top. It's causing me to get inflammation in my tendon where my old bicep inserts. I am not tearing a bicep for a bunch of idiots on the internet. I'm sorry. You guys can think whatever you want about it. That, oh no, his chin barely comes above the bar. He's not slamming his chest hard into the bar. Guys, I'm coming from a dead hang at the bottom. And if I go higher than I'm going, I have to bend my wrist. And it turns into a wrist curl. It pulls on that tendon, that insertion. That's as high as I need to go. My chin's getting above the bar. That's all that matters. And I made extra care today with the 90 pounds. With the 90 pounds, we took care to make sure that I got a dead hang at the bottom. So I got my dead hang, and you guys can see it's a 55, a 10, and a 25. So 90 pounds. Yeah, that's coming along nice. So, you know, people always go, oh, how much weight is that total? How much you weigh? Okay, I don't know, guys. Let's say I'm 240 right now. Because everyone thinks that, you know, oh, some people think I'm different weights. I got people thinking I'm really heavy. Well, if I'm 240 right now, let's say that I'm 240. I might be getting a DEXA scan next week, by the way. If I'm 240, then I'm pulling 330. I'm pulling 330 if that's the case. That means I'm stronger than strap-on. It means I'm 7 pounds from catching Bugenhagen too, if that's the case, isn't it? So, I don't know. I think 240 sounds good. We'll call me 240. Scale's going down. Don't worry about where I'm at in 6 weeks. So let's see what I weigh when I get to the 500. How about we do that? I promise, here's what I'll do, guys. The day that I hit 500 on the scale, or 500 for daily minimum, I'll do a weigh-in on the scale. Let's see what I weigh then. How's that? Is that a deal? So you guys can be more motivated for me to hit 500. You want to know exactly what I weigh. Although I'll have to reveal whatever my weight is when I do the DEXA scan too. We'll have some fun with it. We'll make you guys wait to know what I actually weigh. It's kind of funny. People are like, you haven't ever lost weight on here. It's like, really? I did weigh-ins on camera last year. I went from 255 down to 223. That was done on the same scale in the same gym. I've weighed under 200 twice since being on YouTube. I was down to 195 at one point when I first came back to Texas. You guess people didn't realize that. I was down to 195. I weighed 218 the day I pulled the 500 for 7 without a belt on the deadlift. I was 218. So, you know, guys are acting like I've never weighed under 220 or even under 200 on here. Not true. All right, guys, so here we are, the trap bars. I'm just going to gradually increase. Like I said, even if it's micro-loading these workouts, that's my ramp up. Here's my peak set coming up. I don't even know how much this is. I'm just kind of looking at, because I always got to remember that bar is 58, not 45. So how much is that? I don't know. I do the math in my head. It would be 375 plus 40 if that was a 45-pound bar, right? So that would be 415 plus 13 more. So it's like 428. I don't know. So we'll do this for easy triple. Get my grip work, get my deadlift work in. And we'll just start slowly working that up. I think I'll be at 500 for triples pretty quick on this. And then we'll go up from there. I don't think it'll take me long. Maybe a month. Be there in a month. And we'll take it up from there. And then, so yeah, that's pretty much the plan from here. I'm just going to squat 7 days a week. I'm going to try to do my other 6 days. I'm going to definitely try to work on the press, which I'm going to press a little. I'm going to do a lot of 205s and 215s because I'm going to be at a higher frequency. I need to adjust to that frequency. So I'm going to press. I'm going to bench. I'm going to do chin-ups all through my 6 days a week. I will see if I can get away with trap bar pulls 5 days a week. And hopefully we can make that work. I think I'm adapted enough to this system. And I think that'll give me enough total training volume to get the hypertrophy and stuff I need to keep progressing on the system. But I feel like I'm not really close to stalling. Yeah, some of the workouts are getting fairly heavy at this point. But they're not really any heavier than they were a month ago. Like, I had weeks where I felt just as heavy now. So I'm just going to keep moving forward. So I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.